Well, today we look at how art is being used to revive aging islands. The organisers of Japan's Setouchi Triennial, that's a festival of contemporary art, is currently taking place on the islands of Japan's Seto Inland Sea, and are doing just that. Until November the 4th, nearly 1 million visitors are expected at this event, which brings together 200 artists.
Every 3 years, the quiet, sparsely populated islands of the Seto Inland Sea come to life. Tourists arrive in droves, and traditional wooden houses are filled with works of art. This is the Setouchi Triennale, when these remote Japanese islands, more than 500 kilometers southwest of Tokyo, become a contemporary art attraction.
Each leaf features a drawing of Setouchi, as seen from the ocean.
The primary and middle schools on the tiny island of Ogijima closed 2 years ago due to a lack of pupils. Now, though, it's the lively venue for an art collective called Group 65. One of the artists combined the recorded voices of former pupils with fake school announcements made by other members of the group. The combined sounds are aired as part of a novel audio installation.
Even though there are no children and many people have left the island, we shouldn't think of this project as a requiem, because when we hear voices and sounds, it means there is life.
Billionaire and art enthusiast Soichiro Fukutake had the idea of using contemporary art to revitalize these declining, depopulated islands more than 20 years ago. With the support of the architect Terao Ando, he built museums on 3 of the 12 islands hosting the Triennale. Major Japanese and foreign artists came on board, including Yayoi Kusama, creator of the polka-dotted pumpkin that's become a symbol of the island's close relationship with art.
I didn't know anything about contemporary art. The first time I saw one of the pieces, I thought, so this is what we call art.
Now aged 77, Okuda says his life mirrors the transformation that has taken place on Naoshima Island. A former industrial plant worker, he, like many of the island's 3,200 residents, makes a living from tourism.
Young and old people alike can work in hotels, perform cleaning jobs and look after the souvenir shops. They all have jobs, and the local economy is doing much better these days.
Okuda spent more than 40 years working for Mitsubishi Materials, another bedrock of Naoshima Island's economy. The smelter and refinery employed 800 people when Okuda worked there. Now there are just 400. The plant and other industrial activity cause serious pollution. It's a legacy that Naoshima and neighbouring islands are still contending with.
When you produce copper, it creates a sulfate gas that destroys greenery. We tried to grow trees, but they soon died because of the gas. You can see the results here.
Nature is at the heart of Soichiro Fukutake's art project. The head of the Benesse publishing and education empire has planted hundreds of pine and acacia trees near hotels and restaurants on the other side of the island. The concrete museum buildings seem to be hidden away among the trees.
At Fukutake's request, Tadao Ando's architect found a way for the buildings to blend into the natural environment, rather than destroying it.
Fukutake's project involves local people, many of whom knew little or nothing about contemporary art. On Teshima Island, for example, 100 residents aged between 5 and 70 came together to build part of a museum called Yoko House.
The colours of the pieces of broken tiles had been decided in advance, but we were able to turn them into any shapes we liked.
The manager of the museum moved from Tokyo to Teshima Island with his wife and 2 children less than a year ago. These new arrivals are welcome in the Setouchi area, whose population has halved since the end of World War II.
My life has changed dramatically. I feel like I'm in the Japan of 30 years ago. Here I can experience something that's been lost in modern-day Japan. I like it, and my wife is enjoying life here too.
The Setouchi Triennale hopes to attract 1 million visitors this year. Although the museums on 3 of the islands will remain, the end of the event in early November will send the other islands back into isolation for another 3 years.